Now we're live. Thanks, Mike. We are live, and tonight I have the honor of hosting Horror Hangouts, and I've decided because it's June, Jurassic June, we're going to do dinosaur movies, particularly the Jurassic Park franchise. But before we start, just introduce you to some people. First off, my gorgeous but very paleo inaccurate girlfriend who seems to be dressed as a woman.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that Betty Rubble?
That's
Are you
Pebble.
dressed up as Betty?
No!
You're Bam Bam!
I'm a Harlot Cave woman, damn it! I'm a Harlot Cave woman!
You know, Monty, I don't know what that's quite caveman-esque of you to name her one way or the other. So.
Captain Cave Woman.
Exactly.
Sorry, it's just that with the brunette hair and the club, the first thing came to my mind was Betty Rubble, not Captain Cave Woman.
My girlfriend does not look like Rosie O'Donnell, Monty. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Also joining her is her fantastic son, Christian. Absolute legend. Great to have him back. The valiant leader of the Horror Hangout group, the man with the claw, Sean Erskine, is joining us tonight. We have a very special guest. He is one of the contributors to the Missing Copy podcast, and he is an absolute fucking awesome stop motion artist, and he has done a fantastic little short that he's still kind of working away at, Wildlife on Mars. If you haven't seen his stuff, Mike Tharme is an absolute fucking legend. Make sure you check him out on Twitter. I'm going to drop links to his socials there. Be sure to check out Mike's stuff. Next up, but it's still true. But we also have as well as being animated on screen, the always animated Trivial Theater, who always does fantastic reviews. And lastly, but not least, the legend himself, Monty G, the horror miser. So yeah, guys, dinosaur movies. Tonight we're talking dinosaur flicks, and I have a bunch of questions, not many, because I myself and Mike are on the other side of the planet, so we'll have to go to bed at some fucking time. But I decided to list off some questions. Actually, I have one question before I start, and I'm going to go around. This was one I haven't put down, but I meant to put down. Jane and Christian, as a child, what was your first encounter with like dinosaurs in media, and have you any nice childhood memories of dinosaurs? Like be it TV or museums or picture books or anything?
I guess my first, the first real exposure that I can remember is probably Land Before Time and the mom dying, because I'm me, and of course I'm going to go and bring everybody down. But for having a nice memory, the show Dinosaurs was like something I loved.
You know, the happy show where they all die at the end.
And everyone was surprised that they died from the freeze
What?
and stuff.
They all died?
Oh, great,
you
thanks.
ruined it.
Spoilers if you've never seen it. But no, I really
Come on, Monty. That's like someone going, the Titanic sinks in the end. What?
Boy hasn't gotten around to that yet. But yeah,
that was a watch
nice
list.
memory.
What about yourself, Christian? You being a Transformers stage, would the Dinobots have been your kind of introduction to dinosaurs?
Tiny bit.
80s.
Yeah, tiny bit, but like I didn't get into. I was more into like just the contemporary stuff at Transformers at that time. So that was like around Energon when they weren't really doing the Dinobots and stuff. No, more my first major interaction with dinosaur, at least theming with stuff, was Power Rangers, be it the original series or Dino Thunder, which was the show airing that I got when I got really into the franchise. So that was my first major thing. Also, I grew up around those lovely. Speaking of Land Before Time, I grew up with stuff like Land Before Time 14, fucking Dinosaur Dentist or whatever the hell. But I grew up, I grew up with a couple. I can't even tell you which ones, but I did grow up with a few of the straight-to-video Land Before Time sequel movies, long before I ever watched the original. But I was a weird kid, I guess, because I never was like super into dinosaurs or anything. It was never something that I got super into really. Like I liked the Jurassic Park movies as a kid, but I never had. I guess a lot of kids have like a dinosaur phase where that's just all they're about. I never had that. I was just kind of like, cool dinosaurs. What else? What else is on? You know.
Sean, what about yourself? What was your first earliest interaction with dinosaurs in media or comics or books and stuff like, or were you into dinosaurs as a kid?
Yeah, it started with The Land of the Lost, the original TV series. I remember seeing that when I was a kid, and whenever like the dinosaurs came on, I'd be like terrified. No! Now you look at it, it looks like the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. When you see like the raft go down the river, it's like the
Land Before Lost, the original series, miles above the movie.
Oh yeah, I didn't even bother with that.
Oh yeah, the movie.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Somebody must have liked it.
I think I watched that like on a plane or something. Yeah, that's how you know it's a quality film, is when you're watching it on a plane. Yeah.
Mike, being who you are today, like, was there any big kind of motivating factor as a kid that give you a love of dinosaurs?
No, it was like, as soon as I came out of my mum's womb, I was like, right, dinosaurs, where they at, bitches? It's like, fuck humanity, give me the dinosaurs. I don't know, actually. For me, it's kind of a bit of a blur. I remember as a kid, I was always given the Invicta dinosaur toys. I had the books on dinosaurs. My first interaction with dinosaurs in media was through 1933's King Kong. But I don't actually recall if it was something that I gravitated towards, or whether it was something that was just kind of like my parents were, right, dinosaurs are a boy thing, so we'll just hammer all those onto him until he grows out of it. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one for me, but yeah, they've been pretty prevalent since very, very early in my childhood. But yeah, I can't exactly put a finger on it.
Well, he does fight the T-Rex there.
Okay.
King Kong.
Oh god, yeah.
That's
recent
awesome.
purchase as well, for finally getting the Invicta T-Rex as well. Been after this bad boy for like 30 years. Finally got it.
I had him. I had him, and my dad's bastard dog ate the fucking tail off him. I was so fucking annoyed. I had him. I just
that's all right, because when I had this bike as a kid, I chewed the fucking horns off. So yeah, I feel you.
Oh boy.
Triv, what about yourself? What was your first kind of interaction with dinosaurs in media when you were a kid? Were you big into them? Were you a tomboy? Were you a fan of dinosaurs? Did you like dinosaurs?
Oh, I love dinosaurs as a kid. I think I kind of gravitated towards like anything I was thrown. It's like, hey, here's a thing. Go play with the thing. And it's like, okay, cool. Not sure what that says. My earliest media with it was Land Before Time and We're Back, which was one from the 90s. Loved that so much, but it also scared the pants off me when there's a scene where they go from lovable, adorable, like Don Bluth type things to like scary, terrifying Don Bluth type things.
That does encompass both kinds.
Yeah, Professor.
I never seen anything terrifying from a.
Oh, sorry, Monty. Go on.
I never seen any terrifying from a Don Bluth animated, whether it's the Lord of the Rings or any of the other cartoons animated movies he's made.
No, not terrifying at all. It just it prepares you for adulthood, is what it does.
No, it's not like an entire generation's first exposure to death was through that man or anything.
I mean, I didn't end up on a slow boat to China. you know, with a whole bunch of other cats.
Like
No,
all dogs go to heaven.
no separation anxiety of family stuff. It's fine. He's a cowboy now.
Hey,
No
Dom
symbolism.
DeLuise, Dom
And the
DeLuise saved us, you know.
And the thing, that guy used to work for Disney.
That actually explains a lot.
It does.
My fucking issue is, right, so Littlefoot in the later movies, as Christian pointed out, shit straight to video movies. Hey, we got a new member to our gang. It's the same species that killed my mother. Anyway, Monty, what about yourself, sir? What was your, as a kid, what was your introduction to dinosaurs?
Yeah, well, first of all, just like Sean, I actually saw the original Land of the Lost. But even as a kid, I'm like, these dinosaurs are funny looking. Who the hell made this movie? And I realized it was City Marty Krofft. And I said, "Oh, these are the guys that made H.R. Hupp and stuff. No wonder I really don't like this show." But I did like the Slee Stacks. I actually did like the Slee Stacks. I like that.
About the little like friendly alien guy they hung around with, the green guy.
Yeah. He was like some type of an intelligent one. But I think I really got into dinosaurs because here in Philly they had this I think it's the Natural Museum of Science, and they have a whole bunch of dinosaurs there. So I really got into dinosaurs and going to visit that museum almost every time during grade school. And of course,
was it Zoomation that they used for that? Was it?
What do you say, Marty?
What to make those dinosaurs? Was it Zoomation? Was it like
I don't know.
Godzilla? Was it guys in suits?
No, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't.
Full time. Sorry, Land of Time. Oh, what else is it called?
Land
The Land of the Lost. That was like claymation.
It was sort of like a bad version of claymation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stop motion. So the stop motion for the up close dinosaurs and the distant dinosaurs were all stop motion puppets. Anything that was really close to the actors, they were either hand puppets or they were large animatronics. But yeah, it's primarily stop motion.
Nice.
Yeah, because it was like this. Because I think at the time I might have either seen or I just saw the Valley of Gwangi, I said, "Wow, like that looks way better than this crap." But it was.
I wonder why.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
Yeah, but that's how I got into dinosaurs. You know, watching that, visiting the Natural Museum of Science, seeing all the dinosaur expositions there. You know, and of course, watching dinosaur horror pictures, whether it was King Kong, I think. I can't remember any of the other because it really didn't feature me dinosaurs because people confuse Godzilla as a dinosaur and I really don't call him a dinosaur at all.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on which continuity, but yeah, my nerd is showing.
Yeah.
You know what? Let
The
your nerd
giant
flag
lizard.
fly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, that, and of course, then Jurassic Park came out, and then all of a sudden, now we got all these dinosaur flicks.
Saturated.
So, what was I going to say? I'll start with the first question, and I'm going to start with our special guest, Mike. And Mike, in your opinion, what is the scariest moment in any of the movies from the Jurassic Park franchise? You can pick any moment.
Oh, scariest moment. Hang on, let me consult my list that took me the best part of 2 hours to compile. I think it would have to be the compies attacking Dieter Stark in the Lost World.
You bastard! You took my one. You took my one, you fucker. Because that's from the novel. That's essentially from the novel, right?
Oh,
nice. Yeah, that's right. And
I'll let you explain that.
All right then. So, although they kind of leave out a key bit of information that the compies actually have a paralyzing toxin in their saliva, the scene in itself is pretty horrific. I mean, the guy falls on his ass over a cliff, and then gets swarmed by these tiny little, probably like chicken-sized sort of creatures that then just continue to bite him and then stalk him for a majority of the time until the venom kicks in. And then when he starts getting paralyzed over a log, all you hear is his blood-curdling scream. And all I keep thinking about is, being eaten by T-Rex, that's fine. It's like one bite and you're done. Whereas these things, it's like you'll be more than alive the moment they start burrowing into your internal organs. So it's like, it's not gruesome about this at all.
It is a fucking awesome scene, as Mike points out. Like it's better to fucking be just chomped in half in the one go, rather than being eaten slowly by a bunch of little fuckers. Eric has said his scariest moment in the Lost World Jurassic Park was where a child uses gymnastics to defeat a velociraptor.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. You got cut from the gymnastics team? Hey, look, I just killed a T-Rex. I just killed a raptor. We're using gymnastics.
She's like the next version of the Punisher.
Jen, Christian, what do you think was the scariest moment or part of any of the franchise?
Well, I think you've talked about this one, and I finally did end up watching it, Marty, because you've talked about it so much. I think the scariest one is the last one, the ending scene where the mental dinosaur.
Why am I here?
Well, I don't want to be here. His wife's died, and he's got the butterfinger knives and stuff. And then these other two assholes get into a fight. He has nothing to be here. I think that's scary when your death is by something that you had absolutely nothing to do.
Right on.
Yeah. So that's my answer. What about you?
Okay, so picture it. You're gonna think I'm fucking with you, but picture it. You're asleep on a plane, and then you suddenly wake up, and there's a velociraptor there, and it speaks English. That's pretty creepy.
Alan, I'm going to eat you, Alan.
Alan.
And he's got an accent. He's got a very intelligent accent.
I was thinking that too. Did that thing just talk? Like,
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I love it. That's my hot take. Jurassic Park 3 is fun. It's not a very good movie, but movie's fun as fuck.
At that point, they're like, you know what? The past two movies we've had, serious dinosaur fights and hell. And the last one, we had a kid do gymnastics. What do we want to do this time? Okay.
We got Barney and we got Velociraptor dream sequences. Okay.
Well, you know what? I mean, William H. Macy is essentially playing the same character he was in
the
Fargo.
piss out of me. And this is going to take the piss out of me. That scene bothers me, but not for the reason you think. I'm okay with Alan being talked to by a velociraptor. If it was the same species of raptor he'd encountered in the prior fucking movie. He's never seen this type of raptor before. It makes no sense that he sees that one. It's fucking bullshit.
It's part of the new genetic breed. They're able to.
That's what bothers you.
Alan's mind.
Oh, y'all look the fucking.
It doesn't buy that it's talking.
Marty, are you telling me that you don't believe that someone who's devoted his entire life to dinosaurs?
I don't give a shit that's talking.
You don't know if they talk. They could have spoken German. But you're telling me that you don't believe someone who's studied dinosaurs for his entire life couldn't have maybe seen a picture of that style of velociraptor in a book or something and modeled off of that and just so happened to be the correct species of velociraptor that they were going to later encounter in the movie.
Dreams are unfulfilled.
You got it.
He wanted.
I got you.
Like
Checkmate.
Oh god, it's gone off the rails
only
already.
living species I've ever encountered was the brown fuckers from the first movie.
Are you saying he's never researched any other velociraptors?
What do you think?
Okay,
He probably has, but why that species? Mike, help me out
Why
here.
not that species?
I'll tell you why. Budget reasons.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Okay,
I
then,
bring
if
new
we're
characters
going on
onto
a
the
matter...
baby, and the only one I have is the blood-sucking stop-motion artist.
Okay, Marty, if you're a slave to, like, reality, Tell me how the fuck they have a 3D printer going in whatever 2003, whenever that movie came out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about
point.
that.
With the resonator chamber thing. How did they manage to replicate that so perfectly?
NASA.
Yeah.
All right, I believe it.
Fine, you know what, you're right. I apologize.
Sean,
Please forgive me.
Sean, for you, what is the scariest moment in any part of the franchise?
I would say in the original film when they first see that the T-Rex has escaped and they look and it's just nothing there and the chains are broken and it's just like, oh snap. And then when he shows up and the whole chase that ensues is terrifying. Yeah.
What happened to the goat?
And the way it's shot too, it's dark and the rain, it's spooky.
They were lucky because that animatronic they had to dry it off because the water was fucking with it, if I'm not mistaken. It fucking glitched out and stuff, and they had to be very careful because that thing had so many hydraulics and stuff in it that if someone ended up in its mouth, regardless of animatronic or not, they would have been fucking dead. Ben Grimm says, surprised to say Carnosaur was a heavily rented movie when I worked at Blockbuster. I always tried to warn them.
Hand puppet.
I like Carnosaur. I know I shouldn't, but still. Monty, what is your most scary moment you think in the franchise?
That's interesting. I mean, I would say, I guess the scariest part for me was the actual chase scene with the T-Rex when you have Jeff Goldblum, Robert Muldoon, and Laura Dern. They're all in the truck trying to get away, and the T-Rex is chasing after them. And for some reason, I just love that scene because you wouldn't think that a T-Rex can run very fast, but it can. And it almost on random, I thought that was one of the best scenes, and probably one of the more exciting scenes in the film was the T-Rex chase in that truck, in that Jeep, I should say.
And those effects were incredible. That
that
looks
was
so real. It still does.
Ben Graham says opening doors.
Again, the original. Was freaky. That's kind of freaky. Triv, what would you say is your kind of top scariest moment from the franchise?
So I saw this in theaters, and I was very prone to jump scares as a kid. So in the tour vehicles that take them around the park in the first one, when the T-Rex comes down through the big sunroof thing, and the only thing between the kids and the T-Rex is the big plexiglass thing.
Yeah. And he's stepping
a little
on.
bitch.
I'm like, whoa, wow.
Man, it was so scary. It sent Marty away. I'm so sorry.
Into his little turtle shell.
Sorry, guys.
That is a great scene,
my computer, my laptop is still updating as we're doing a stream, so if I'm glitching on and out, that's what's happening. It's a new laptop, and it decided it wants to install McAfee as we speak, and I hate McAfee. Apologies, guys. So bouncing on to the next question, and I don't know. Mike, I think you shot your load with the first one because it's kind of similar to your
No. No,
he's
up for a favorite kill.
No.
Okay,
He's been training.
Okay, so Mike, you have a different one for a favorite kill, yeah?
Yeah. So I've technically got two. So the first one is where Timmy gets electrocuted because that's fucking hilarious. Kid getting zapped by 10,000 volts. Unfortunately, he still lives, but it's just the fucking thought of it. It's just hilarious.
Damn it, you took mine.
But my favourite kill is Eddie Carr's death in The Lost World. The fact that
Lady and the Tramp.
Yes, yes. But it's the fact that
Yes,
everyone's
Lady
like
and
in
Trump.
uproar over Jurassic World was like, oh, Zoe or whatever her fucking name is didn't deserve to die in the most gruesome way possible. It's like, neither did Eddie Carr, and he was split in two by two T-Rexes, Lady and Trump. And it's like, where's the justice for him if that's what you want to bitch about?
You know what? But he turned into a very romantic meal for two. And that was, if you're going to go out, that's a good way to go out.
Yeah. Agreed.
It did suck because I liked that character. He
was a real good character. I mean, the actor that played him was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And it's heroic death as well. It's something that you don't get very often in the franchise. It always seems to be either you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, or it's the bad guy has to get it. But with Eddie Carr, it's like he was the only good guy that actually was doing something decent to save others and then sacrificed himself in order to do it. So, it's an honourable death, I think.
Yeah. Like again, as you pointed out, as the later the world movies came out, they were like, oh, well, we're not going to kill the good guys, we'll kill the bad guys. It's like, dinosaurs don't fucking discriminate. They're like, that was the thing that pissed me off. You had a bunch of fucking dickheads going, Colin Trevorrow was sexist for killing the boy's minder in the first one.
It's
fucking, they don't give a shit. Food is
all food.
Light meat and dark meat, good and bad, taste the same.
Yeah. Triv, what is your favorite kill from any of the franchise?
You kind of spoiled mine, but that's okay. I love, I sat there and just cackled at the poor undeserving assistant that got eaten by a pterodactyl and then doubly eaten by the giant fish duck. Yes, thank you. I just sat there. I rewound it, or I ran it back and watched it 2 more times because I'm such a sadist. Whatever.
Oh man, they ate the nanny. Oh, I gotta see that again.
Exactly. It's like, what was it? Something against the actress? Was it something against the character? I mean, that was malicious on the writer's part to go, well,
no,
we're gonna kill this.
There wasn't. He just wanted to give her a spectacular death.
He succeeded.
Yeah.
He wanted to give her a spectacular death.
No, I get it. That's like the one Velociraptor getting flame broiled later on too.
Yeah, it was like, it's a dinosaur kill. It's just like, if it just fucking eats you in one bite, it's fairly boring. I mean, my favorite kill, I'll get to it last, but Monty, your favorite kill. What's your favorite kill for the entire franchise?
My favorite kill happens in Dominion. During that when Chris Pratt is chasing one of the bad guys in that thing. I forgot what area, what town they were supposed to be in. And I think one of the dinosaurs, one of the guys, he's fighting Chris Pratt, and then they free a bunch of Allosaurus, and then we still got some other animals there. Next thing you know, he gets to whatchamacallit, he turns around, and the dinosaur just bites his head off.
That was, yeah. What was it? Mike, was it the baryonyx with the one arm that was chained to the wall? Was that what finished?
I think so. Yeah, it was in the Malta scene in the black market.
Yeah. It was in the kind of the Mos Eisley market kind of fucking scene.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
I know. That's why I said, why are they copping off of Star Wars? Come on, guys.
They
pick
had
up something
the entire
original.
fucking planet to go around all this fucking.
Wretched hide of scum and villainy.
Sean, what about you? What's your favorite kill from the franchise?
Well, it was the one that Mike started to save, the mommy and daddy T-Rex, when they grab the guy and just rip him in half. That was classic.
Snatch, rip.
That was a cool scene.
Halvesies,
like a Snickers.
Yeah.
You can have my last roll.
Hey, Dan.
Jen, Christian, favorite deaths in the franchise?
Electrocution. I'm always up for a good electrocution.
Fuck that kid. Fuck that kid.
Guys, survive.
I'm gonna.
Damn it,
I'm
Mike,
gonna
one
jump
of you
off.
started.
Fuck that kid.
3, 2.
It was funny. I mean, it wasn't.
He got what he deserved. He was
He did.
kicking around and he was like, no, I'm going to, can't do it. I can't do it. The fucker could have crawled under there.
That was my rewind self over and over moment I was talking about. Seeing that little shit fry. So good. For me, I'm surprised by. Wow, that really pissed Marty off. He really loves that kid.
Lost the host.
Man, he really loves that kid. What mine, I guess, for an actual one, I'm surprised I haven't heard it mentioned yet. Would actually be Nedry's death in the first film. I like how it's set up and everything. I like the whole. I like the rainy, dark atmosphere it builds. I like the poison screaming and everything. It works really well. It's a very effective kill. It gives me very big kind of like slasher vibes, maybe just because of the rainy atmosphere. But I like it a lot.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, very good.
Was that the one with the Velociraptor chasing Wayne Knight around the woods? You know, when he's like stumbling around.
Yeah,
And he looks at it, get out of here, just get out of here. Trying to shoo him away. And it's like,
That was a Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus.
okay, sorry.
It's in the book. It's way fucking worse.
Oh,
He gets disemboweled.
Nice.
He gets disemboweled, and it's eating his intestine while he's still alive. And I think another one cracks his skull. Just literally bites down his skull.
Why the fuck wasn't that in there?
Because honestly,
God damn it, Spielberg!
Have any of you guys read the novel?
No, I have not read
Yeah.
any of the
I read the
novels.
novel, yes.
If,
The novel's
if they'd done the novel, it'd be fucking R-rated. And,
Yeah.
God damn it, Spielberg!
Yes.
Not
Not
in
the
another
same.
10 years, they'll remake it and they'll make it a real gore fest because they'll think, fuck the kids, we want all the hard.
I'm for
stuff
this.
that we never got it.
My motto when it comes to movies is fuck the kids.
Anyone who's watched our
Wait,
channel,
what?
we know that.
What?
Yeah?
Someone's gonna fucking cut this and edit it.
Please don't take
You're
that
gonna
line
be
out of
good.
context. Much appreciated.
Why did they put this? And
Especially
one
when
where I
it's a
said, dude,
stupid
they're
clone.
recruited for a pedophile. He voted for a pedophile. In
Shut up! There was reason. There was reason. Okay.
Man, if you hate the kid, which I know y'all guys couldn't stand the clone kid.
Oh, that does bring up an interesting question real quick. Who is the most annoying kid in the series?
All of them?
Wow.
Not to derail. I got thinking about it. And
No. Actually, it's a really good question, Triv.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Which of the kids would we rather see eaten and disemboweled by a T-Rex and Velociraptor?
All of them.
I
That's
think
my
Lizzie
answer, but
in
if
the
you had to-
second one.
I'd go with Clone Girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Clone
amazing.
Girl. I had no problem with her in Dominion, but in the Forbidden Kingdom, or I think it was
Yeah,
not Forbidden.
Someone spurt that child in the head. Mike, what about you? Who's the most annoying fucking kid in the franchise, in your opinion?
Timmy.
I like cows.
It's like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was definitely a Timmy when I was that age with my dinosaurs going up saying, oh, this is a this and that's and that. And my book's this thick and yours is fucking shit and all that crap. But when you're looking at it from the other side of the mirror, it's like, God, I was fucking annoying.
Yeah. We've all been there.
I haven't been.
Okay, then.
So yeah, definitely Timmy. Didn't mind Maisie. I thought she was probably one of the more strongly written child characters in the whole franchise. Kelly, I'm a bit 50-50 with her in the sense that I get that she's Malcolm's kid and she wants to be with her dad, but when you're making stupid decisions to go on a dinosaur-infested island and kicking fucking dinosaurs out the windows with gymnastics, it's like...
That's pretty cool. I don't know.
50-50. And then Eric, the only thing I can describe with Eric is that he's the Bear Grylls of the
He
children
I know, yeah.
franchise. 'Cause
That
who
kid
the fucking
survives.
survive on an island full of dinosaurs for God knows how long? Somehow collect T-Rex pee and not be like about it, and survive on nothing but fucking Twinkies or whatever the hell it was in that bag.
Mike,
So,
you know he
he's-
drank that, right? That kid
Yeah,
probably drank
probably,
that shit,
probably.
that piss.
Probably.
Like, no,
He says it's to
no.
lure away predators. We all know what he really does with it.
Absolutely. No,
Oh,
fuck
spray
Chris
me, big
Pratt.
boy.
He should have been the protagonist for the world movies. Fuck Chris Pratt. That kid
Yeah.
should have been the protagonist. It should just be about him running a survivalist reality show and basically just be Bear Grylls in the Jurassic World.
Oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been so much better than what we got.
Oh, definitely.
I'm surprised no one didn't pick the brothers from the first Jurassic World movie.
Oh,
Triv, what
yeah.
character? What
Oh, those two. Forgot about them.
Yeah.
That's everything we need to right there.
Yeah, that. There you go.
Yeah, they're the most forgettable fuckers in the whole thing.
And they led to that poor handler losing her
Sean, what
life.
about you?
Me? I gotta go with the Timmy's sister. I can't remember her name from the first
Lexi.
Oh,
one.
Lex.
When she gets like sneezed on and she's sitting there like, ew, ew, ew. I just was like, you know what? Just suck it up. You know
I'm not.
You
I'm not
created a
being
new
funny.
kind of hair gel. Congratulations.
You got sneezed
I'm
on
not
by
being-
an extinct species. Revel in that shit.
I mean,
Exactly.
shit, take a page out of Monica's book and smear it on your dress, and I mean, put that shit on eBay in 2 years.
I'm not being funny, right? I get sneezed on by my cat when it sits on my chest, and I can't even imagine how gross it must feel having literally your head to toe in snot. There's just literally hanging and wobbling from each part of your fucking face. It's like, nope.
Some people might be into that, though.
Only Jen would say that.
I didn't say I was into it, Sean. I said some people.
Let's all be honest here. If it all had worked out and hadn't gone awry, you totally know Jurassic Park would have been able to be rented out for couples weekends. you know that they would have done that.
Sean, what kid pissed you off the most, Sean?
Oh, the clone girl.
No,
Just
but I like the thing is, it's like, I'm alive, so are they. Way to go, child! You just fucking caused. You just caused the fucking extinction of humanity. You put an invasive species onto a
Yeah,
fucking
I
planet.
know, right?
The question I have to ask for that is, when it happened in Fallen Kingdom, right? Her releasing the dinosaurs because she was a clone like them kind of made sense. But then when you find out in Dominion that she's not a clone, all that plot line's a complete fabrication. In fact, she's just like some asexual reproduction experiment from a biological mother/sister. And it then makes me think, how does she feel now that she's just released dinosaurs into the world? What are they all have? They're incest, like me. How are you supposed to comply with that? It's like, shit, I made the wrong decision.
Your house is built on lies!
I guess this is the time I let it be known that I haven't watched any of the World movies. So what the fuck went on in those?
You know what?
Like,
Having watched
yeah.
all three, that is still the
See,
reaction
believe
that
it.
to roll with.
What the?
All
I
I'm
now
going to say,
understand
Tristan,
what you
is
mean, Marty.
all I'm going to say, Tristan, is just end it with Jurassic World, and it's only a quadrilogy. There's no other films after that. Anything after that is fan fiction.
It sounds like it already is.
Yeah, pretty
Now,
much.
I will say, though, I will give one credit for Dominion. I did love seeing all the legacy characters and the new characters together at the end of the third act. That was pretty good. I actually did. That's one of the best parts of the show, is seeing all them all together and seeing, see Malcolm and Chris Pratt going back and forth with each other, making snide remarks. I thought that was fantastic.
That's definitely my favorite part about it. Like, and they were well utilized, I thought, and they were very good. It felt like they never left, you know.
Yeah, but no, the Lotus they need the Lotus. No.
Actually, I'm going to use that as a springboard. I'm going to use that as a springboard and start with Monty. Monty, what's your favorite character from the franchise? We've talked about our most disliked child, but who's your favorite character from the franchise?
Oh, gotta be Malcolm. Yeah, it's gotta be Malcolm here. He's my favorite character. I mean, he was one of the bright moments in Jurassic, the Lost World Jurassic Park, because he's the only one that actually had sense.
He's the only one that knew it was a bad idea in the first place.
Yeah, he was the only one bad idea. I mean, you got to give Jeff Goldblum credit, and it's kind of interesting because in the book he gets killed in the book. But I don't know. But when the Lost World comes back on, he's actually in the book, and we come to find out they had to rewrite his character, saying that his supposed he had died, but he didn't. But he didn't. So I like the fact that even though he dies in the book, but they actually bring him back in the Lost World in both books. So I thought, wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, but Jeff Goldblum, he's one of them. He's one of the best characters in the series.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Must go
Definitely.
faster. Must go faster.
You must go faster. Must go faster.
Finds a way.
You know, when I'm right, I hate this being when I'm right, and then she tells him, "Oh, shut up, Ethan."
That is one big pile of shit.
There's a great GIF that's got what's his name? Dr. Grant, like, you know, when he's like going up and down
on Malcolm's chest.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that so much. It's like he's breathing, like when the Triceratops is breathing in and out. They replace the Triceratops with Ian Malcolm, and you see Dr. Grant going up and down on his chest. It's great.
Hey, Brittany.
Cue porn music.
Triv, what's your favorite character from the series?
I really enjoyed Mr. DNA. You know, he wasn't around long, but by God, he made an impression.
You can really relate to him with being both
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaur.
I mean,
He
my
created
pieces fly
Dinosaur.
apart. Yeah, my pieces fly apart and come back together all the time. So.
yeah.
It always makes a mess when I do it.
Oh.
With time, you will figure that out, Jen.
I will. It's learning curve. Learning curve.
Mike, favorite character in the franchise, dude?
Oh, for me, it's got to be John Hammond. In the books, I didn't like him at all. I thought he was a absolute dick, especially considering that he's bringing his grandkids to the island. And he's like, "Oh, fuck them all! I'm gonna make this island a magic gold mine for me." But I liked that in the film he was like that. It wasn't just the caring grandfather. He was like the Walt Disney that we all wanted him to be.
Yeah.
And I liked that about him, even when it was down to the whole park falling around him, and you could see how destroyed he was. That his dream of bringing something, well, it was from the flea circus sequence in the kitchen earlier in the film, where he was talking about wanting to bring something that was real and not an illusion, something they could go and touch and know how magnificent everything is, and to see all that basically taken away from him because there's just no respect for the power of not just nature, but just kind of like human technology and ego and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I really like John Hammond. I thought he was a fantastic character.
I'm with you, Mike, because like he's not greedy. The bit where Gennaro's like, "Oh, we can charge whatever we want," and he's like, "This park isn't for the super rich. I want everyone to be able to enjoy these animals," and I like that. He didn't. He was someone who didn't see the negative. He was like kind of this entrepreneur who only saw the benefits and didn't see the problems or the issues with it. Sean, what about you? Who's your favorite character in the franchise?
Dr. Alan Grant. Probably because I love Sam Neill. I love everything he does. He's just great. And I like like as the series go on, he basically becomes like Indiana Jones. You even see him walking through the cave with a torch in his hand. He's got the hat.
Jen, Christian, have you favorite characters from the franchise?
Sean took it. It's Alan. Much for the same reason. I've been in love with Sam Neill since I was a little kid. So naturally, that's who I was going to be drawn to. I just liked his personality too. I like that kind of personality.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah. What about you?
Life finds a way. Yes. Jeff Goldblum. Yes. Moving on. Yes.
Sam Neill's better.
Is he though?
Yes. Yes,
Sam Neill never gets shirtless and just with the leather jacket, just lay it on a counter like it's a bearskin rug, and he's Burt Reynolds though.
No, but he did go to a town with John Carpenter.
We're talking about the character. We're not including Mouth of Madness. We're including Mouth of Madness. That's a different thing. But
I knew she was going to bring up Mouth of Madness stuff.
and if we're going with that long, that also means that Jeff Goldblum is part fly, and that honestly makes him even better to more so.
Well, that was sort of whole canon to the
Dude, next movie. He's inventing a teleporter, and he gets crossed with a velociraptor.
I mean, there is a movie out there that covers that, and it's pretty freaking awesome.
I think I know exactly where we're going with that.
No, I knew she's going to bring that movie up.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll get to that one, Triv.
If I could wink.
My favorite character is basically, it's two characters. It's broken down into two characters, and the first one is Robert Muldoon. Cool character, shit at his job. I love Robert Muldoon, but he's the worst game warden ever. I don't know if Mike watches him, but Jack Ewan's on a video pointed out where it's like they're loading the Raptor. Right, lads, I want spotlights on this thing. I want it in a cargo container. Hit it off a couple of trees. Get about 20 lads to knock on the fucking box. Wait, it's eating someone. Why was it so pissed off?
Oh no! Who could have seen this coming?
Robert Muldoon was brilliant, but he was too busy focusing on keeping his fucking big socks. He had the biggest pair of socks.
95% socks, 5% man.
That's why he wasn't as clever as that clever girl. That's why. But in the second movie, I think they got the novel version of Robert Muldoon right. In Pete Postlethwaite's Golden Tembo.
Yeah,
that character was fucking brilliant. He was on the Indian team, but he wasn't a bad guy. He was a fucking straight shooter. Like Peter Ludlow's like, we'll set up camp here. He's like, are you fucking simple? This is the game trail. Animals hunt on a fucking game trail. And then later on, when Dieter Stark goes missing, I love his dark sense of humor. It's like, did you find him? Only the pieces they didn't like.
Only the parts they didn't like.
But he was cool. Like, he had one-liners. He had a big fuck-off elephant gun. He was pissed off that he didn't get to fucking blow the T-Rex's head off, and his buddy got killed. But he was a badass character, and he got the best line in the movie where, like, Peter Ludlow's like, "Oh, Roland, look, you've done so much for me. You've saved the company." And he's like, "You have to come work for me." And he's like, "Nah, I think I've spent enough time in the company of fucking death." He just bows out. And he is my favorite character. I love.
I love the conversation he has with Ian while they're walking in the rain. He talks about, why is he here? And he says, well, first on this island lives the second greatest predator that ever lived. It's only right that the first greatest predator ever gets the right to take him down.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And what is it? He has another cool conversation with Nick Van Owen. It's like, so this animal's on the planet for the first time in 25 million years, and all you can do is think about killing it. And he's like, yeah, remember that bloke who went up to Everest, nearly died from lack of oxygen. They asked him why he did it. He said, well, it was there. I like that character. And the other cool thing is that as well as being a sequel to Jurassic Park, it also does double duty as being a kind of adaptation of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. And you could see a big game hunter like that being in that novel at that time period. I think that's why his character was so awesome. I'm really bad with the comments. Apologies, guys. Ben Gribb says Goldblum is a shaved, hairy alien that turns into a part fly. Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Brittany says her favorite characters are Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm are both great characters. They're her two favorite characters.
Good choice.
Right.
I just have a real quick random question. So I rewatched the first three just to get myself reacquainted. What was the deal with Nick Owens? Like, he disappeared before they got back to San Diego. Did they ever explain why he wasn't in that last bit?
If I remember rightly, when Jack Ewing was brought on for Jurassic World, not Dominion, Fallen Kingdom, he wrote up a bunch of kind of like backstory towards all the characters leading up to Jurassic World. And I think he did actually write a treatment that is now canon for the franchise in terms of where Nick went off to. I can't remember what it was. I'd like to think he ran off to Greenpeace with all the women that just flocking around. He's done his bit on the island, so you don't need to go anywhere else. But there is an official thing somewhere out there. But
there was another theory as well, which I do like, that fucking Egypt snuck aboard the Venture that was bringing the T-Rex to San Diego, let it loose and got fucking eaten. I like that theory.
I mean, it is a young Vince Vaughn, so I think that's a good way for him to go out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with Triv because I know she's fucking raring to go with this question. Triv, what is your favorite dinosaur movie that isn't Jurassic Park?
I gotta say, well, you know what? I'm just gonna Velocipaster. You kind of caught me off there. I love that movie so much. It's such a fun. It's a dinosaur movie, but it's not a dinosaur movie. It's kind of The Fly, but it's not The Fly because no teleporters. It's so insane, and it uses like Tarantino-esque opening credits, and it's just the editing and the way that it works, and it's so goofy. I mean, there's blood fountains all over the fucking place in that thing.
It's the best movie.
Oh,
it is the best movie.
So good.
Monty, for you, what's your favorite dinosaur movie that isn't Jurassic Park?
Oh, it's the Valley of Guanji. Yes, Western meets sci-fi meets horror. Yeah, it's not one of his best. Ray Harryhausen, not one of his best movies, but it's still fantastic. Still fantastic.
What?
You just threw down the dueling glove.
And I'm not saying it's bad because it's still fantastic because it's Ray Harryhausen. I'm just saying it's like when you compare that to Jason the Argonauts and any Sinbad movie that he's done, that's what I'm saying. But it's still great because it's Ray Harryhausen. But it's just I just like the story better when you're mixing a Western and a sci-fi and a dinosaur. I mean, that was just great. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, wow, this is fantastic because I never saw that combination before. Probably not since I think it was Bone Tomahawk. I think it was first time.
The horror kind of cannibal western.
Kurt Russell,
but Kurt Russell, because you really don't get that many horror films based in Western times.
Yeah.
So I thought, so I really enjoyed that. So definitely for me, it's the Valley of Guanji.
Very cool.
Cool beans. Sean, favorite dinosaur movie that isn't Jurassic Park?
Well, speaking
Mr.
of
Dan.
Ray Harryhausen, he did the effects in my favorite 1 million BC from Hammer.
Nice.
The lovely Raquel. Not only do you have the awesome Ray Harryhausen effects, but you have the great effects of Raquel Welch in that beautiful bikini.
Those effects.
90% of me loves that movie, but they use a method which I found out the name for it recently called Slurposaurus. It's where you get a fucking lizard and you stick fins or you stick fucking cones or stick. It's definitely not something PETA like. You just fucking slap shite on an actual lizard and just record it via back projection. And I really think that fucking that took from the movie. I don't know, just
I'll tell you exactly why they did that. Firstly, they were paying homage to the original 1940s 1 million years BC, because they did the exact same thing with the lizards in that. But also, Ray's mentality was that if people could believe a giant lizard on a screen, then they would believe his stop motion effects that would appear afterwards, but also appreciate it more in the sense that they were proper dinosaurs and not just something that was like thrown together in a back studio lot somewhere. And I get where he was coming from with it, but I agree with everyone when they always say that, it just didn't work. It took away from the film rather than actually made you more invested into it for what you saw later on. But it's trial and error, these things. You don't know if it's going to work until you get it executed, and just in this case it didn't work. So
Jen, Christian, what are your favorite movies with dinosaurs that
dear God. Oh, dear God. What are you doing? What are you plotting?
Marty's going to leave me if I answer this question.
Do you want
No,
me to?
go on. I won't, babe.
Okay. The Flintstones.
Fucking bollocks, Jesus.
I guess that's
Right? Because it's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
It's got people and dinosaurs. Me.
Thus proving
and
creation is
Taylor.
Okay, it does have Elizabeth Taylor, though, which does give it a lot of extra points.
And John Goodman going off the dinosaur thing and going, wee.
And Halle Berry.
Yeah, but then it has Rosie O'Donnell, so that takes away.
Okay, it does, but I still feel like Elizabeth Taylor and Halle Berry balance it out. But you do have a fair point with that one.
But yeah, like, they got I know someone makes a joke with rocks and penises somewhere.
Yes, there is. I believe there is a Viagra joke.
Yes.
Yes.
And I mean, it's cool. Like dinosaurs, you don't see many movies where dinosaurs and people living together. We need
Thus proving creationism right.
It's super cool, guys.
That is ridiculous. That's a terrible pick. Unlike mine, which is the correct answer here. Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas. Because you have Alan Cumming, the patron saint of camp cinema, Alan Cumming playing the Great Gazoo. Okay, for my actual one, first of all, yes, Velocipaster. Peak cinema. But given the fact that it is Pride Month, I figure I'll highlight a personal favorite of mine, being Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh my God, that movie is so horny.
It is so aggressively horny.
Oh, wait a minute. How could a movie be horny?
Oh my God, you have no idea.
Oh my God, fucking Steve Paul Walker's brain masturbates fucking Denise Richards in a fucking jar.
It does. Brain.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I gotta see this. I haven't seen this one.
Okay,
oh my God,
Sean,
it's on top Tubi. It's either Tubi
it
or
is.
Shudder.
Sean, let me sell you on this movie. So Paul Walker, in his first acting role, gets his brain taken out of his body by Isaac from the Children of the Corn franchise and put inside an animatronic T-Rex, and he has to get his original body back and also get back with his girlfriend, Denise Richards, and deal with his bully, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Also, the mad scientist who transposed his brain was Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Oh my
you're
God.
right.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, Bernie's the scientist. Isaac is his assistant.
Yeah.
It's like
Also,
I'm definitely
also the
checking
fact
that out.
That this gigantic T-Rex, this 12 or 13 foot T-Rex, is able to have a little sock hand that goes over to stroke Denise Richards' face, dial a damn phone.
Yes, pay phone.
I can't think what else he does, but it is so over the top and cheesy. And like when they're taking out Paul Walker's brain, it's so clearly a mannequin. It's hilarious.
Speaking of mannequin, and the reason I'm mentioning this for Pride Month, that we have a flamingly gay best friend in this movie who is basically Hollywood from the Mannequin films as a teenager, and it's he surprisingly, given the time period, not that homophobic. Weirdly, kind of a positive story. So there's that. It's
but still has a appreciation for a good set of tits.
Yes, he does, as all gay men truly do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The thing I like is when you watch it, you're like, oh, this is
name.
a silly kind of kids movie from the 80s.
And then it's
Walker's T-Rex takes off a dude's head, stands on a car while guys are hiding under the car and crushes them. It's gory as fuck. Mike, what is your? Can you beat a pick as good as Tammy and the T-Rex? Have you something?
I don't know. The problem with mine is that all my favourite films are all equal number one, so it's like I can't just choose the one. This is like asking which is your favourite child.
There's always a correct
out of everything that some people have mentioned, it would have to be a cross between The Land That Time Forgot and 1933's King Kong.
Excellent choices.
Yeah, so you got the classic adventure, science fiction, fantasy for 1933, and the dinosaurs are fantastically built and made up by Marcel Delgado and Willis O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
And then for The Land That Time Forgot, you have cheesy hand puppets that absolutely just don't move like dinosaurs, but fuck are they entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Trenchy!
It's World War One.
Hey, Trenchy!
In prehistoric times as well, in a place where it makes no fucking sense, but you know what? I'd fucking go for it.
Isn't it the B movie actor that Troy McClure's based on, Doug McClure or some shit like that? That was another.
Say that again. You broke up.
Sorry. Is it like that American B movie actor that Troy McClure is based off, Doug McClure?
Yes, Doug McClure. Yeah. So you got the Doug McClure trilogy. So the Land That Time Forgot was the first one. Then you had what was it now? Warlords of Atlantis. Then you had a sequel to The Land Before Time, which was The People That Time Forgot. Very fucking unforgettable. Just don't bother watching that. And what was the other one? There was another one. Journey to the Center of the Earth's Core.
With Peter Cushing.
Yes. And Carolyn Monroe as well.
Carolyn Monroe. Moon, hello.
Hey, Moon.
Hey, Moon.
I'm gonna be weird and pick a kind of obscure, kind of bizarre kids movie from the 80s.
After Tammy and the T-Rex, that's not saying much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Baby Legend of the Last Dinosaur?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
I remember
It's
that.
a kids movie, but you see Sean Young full frontal and William Cash.
Sorry?
Yeah. William Cash has a discussion with a Ugandan Air Force pilot about how he's fighting with his wife. To the Ugandan pilot, turns around, just slap the fucking bitch. I'm like, what the?
Can I just say,
released by Disney?
Can I just
It's
say
great.
I love Temple of Doom PG films because they got away with the most what the fuck shit.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did. They did. Yeah.
Holy hell.
Like Sheena, remember Sheena? Saw her naked quite a bit, and it was only like a PG-13. Actually, it was only PG.
It was only PG. Yes.
Another one, Disney. Dragon Slayer.
Yeah,
Ooh, good one.
that was fairly fucking gory as well. So I'm gonna give you my last question. I'm gonna start with Mike, okay? So, and I'm keeping this broad. What do you think is your favorite scary prehistoric animal or dinosaur? Doesn't have to be a dinosaur. It can be anything.
Could be anything. Yeah. Okay.
From
So
any period.
there's two angles you can approach this from. You can either choose something that is very clearly discovered and we've examined the shit out of, so we know every nook and cranny of it. Or you could think about the fact that fossilization is a very rare process anyway. So although we're finding stuff in the ground that we can say, okay, this is scary because it's got big claws or big teeth or whatever. What terrifies me is the stuff that we never discover, whether it be that it never fossilized or we just haven't dug in the right spot yet to find it. So that side of it is absolutely fascinating and terrifying to me, because one of these days we're going to find something that is literally going to be a case of, if we were around at this period in time, we would be fucking fucked. But then on the other side of that, the stuff we actually know, terror birds. They are like just fucking nightmare fuel on adrenaline. And we were talking a while ago about cassowaries, how Marty wants to own a cassowary in Ireland, of all places. Yeah, imagine that about a good couple of feet forward, like bigger than an ostrich, beefed up like some fucking monster pigeon bird, and yeah, it would quite happily not only just crack open your scum, but probably run you over as well. So yeah, that's something I don't want to mess around with.
Good one, Triv.
Triv.
Yeah.
Triv,
Yeah.
what dinosaur or prehistoric creature did you like but also scared you growing up?
This particular cassowary, honestly.
It's pretty horrifying.
The plesiosaur, the one that swims.
With the long neck.
Yeah, long neck.
Big giant mouth.
Yeah.
Mostly because you can still find it up in Loch Ness, and it's like, they can survive up there. It's come and find me and eat me in my bed.
I mean, when you say it like that, Triv.
Oh God!
For the love of fuck, Jim.
I mean, he's got a really long neck, so.
I know. He can manage all those hard to reach places.
I feel you, Marty.
No, I'm not helping here.
Monty, what dinosaur do you think is scary and also kind of kicks ass? Dinosaur or prehistoric creature?
It's
got to be before or after the dinosaurs.
It's got to be the raptor. I mean, those things are brutal. I mean, it's like
which one? You've got different sizes.
Anyone. Matter of fact, I'll even go to the Jurassic World one and go to Blue. That it's just like they're fast, they're intelligent, and they have no fear.
Spielberg got very lucky, and I think Michael backed me up on this. So originally, Velociraptor was about the size of a fucking corgi.
That's adorable.
They were little fuckers, right? And then I think, was it maybe 6 months before the movie came out, they found Utah Raptor, right?
Yeah. So the original raptors were supposed to be Deinonychus, which is a medium-sized theropod. Velociraptors themselves are the size of turkey, so they're quite small, but Deinonychus doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Velociraptor. And then, as you say, Marty, yeah, about 6 months before the film opened, they discovered Utah Raptor in, Utah of all places, strangely enough. But they are much bigger. I think so. I can't remember whereabouts it was exactly, but there's like a whole pit of them that's just been found as a collective family group. But they're still actually excavating the cast, to be honest with you. They've not even got a full picture of what the specimens are like, but you're looking at juveniles, subadults, adults, and everything in between as well. But yeah, they're massive. They're like twice the size of a Deinonychus. So Deinonychus is adults, the human size. Utahraptor's twice that size.
Big fuckers.
Just a bit.
Sean, favorite kind of scary dinosaur species or prehistoric animal? And if you're not sure the name, just describe it to me and Mike, and we'd be able to name it probably.
Well, like Jen often says, I'm going to be a basic bitch and say the T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And that started with the Land of the Lost. I was like terrified, and then of course Jurassic Park did it a million times better and made it look so real. The fact they're just so dangerous, It's a carnivore. They'll rip you apart, rip you to shreds. Plus they went full Godzilla in the Lost World. Walking through the city. That's awesome.
the cool thing is, I love the movies, but they're the kind of paleontological kind of research has discovered that a majority of their bodies were covered in feathers. They weren't actually that fast because of their fucking size. And another thing, and it makes sense. You know in all the in all the movies where the T-Rex roars before it attacks, it probably didn't do that because it was an ambush animal. Like, if you're going to jump out and murder someone, you're not going to be like, "Hey, fuck off!" You're not going to.
I'm going to fuck you up.
Well, that's the best part, when you see them fall over, screaming their heads off, and they're just laughing.
but yeah, it's chances are an animal like that would probably have and again, Mike, you know just as well as me, it probably would have waited on a tree line or something for an animal to break off from the herd and then just fucking picked it off and dragged it away. They were more ambushers and scavengers, right?
Yeah,
like a
ambush
child
opportunity.
Jesus Christ!
What?
Ambush a child away. I mean, that's like they're like child molesters.
Jesus. There's actually a fucking onion fucking
Yeah.
yeah. I love it. What's it called? The fucking Lurchosaurus or the
Pervosaurus or something like that. Where it
Dinosaurs.
to dinosaurs and gently rub itself against their bodies. All the dinosaurs.
sometimes the species would submerge itself.
They're masturbating next to a neatly packed feces.
Wow, this took a weird turn.
Man,
just for the record, that is not a real species of dinosaur. That's a gag.
So we
That's
know.
what we know.
Wait.
There's the unknown factor.
yeah, we don't know. Like Mike said, we don't know. It could be real.
Exactly.
Jane, Christian, what's your favorite species of dinosaur?
You go. I need a second to recover from that. Jesus
I
Christ.
saw this in a cartoon, and it's a saber-tooth snake.
A saber-tooth snake.
That thing, yeah, because it's got an hair, and it's and bat snake.
So what you're
Yeah.
saying is any prehistoric snake.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I don't like snakes, prehistoric or otherwise, unless it's in Marty's
Shut up.
Marty, is your snake prehistoric?
Oh no!
Marty's anaconda is not prehistoric.
You don't want none unless you got buns on it.
so
Going on a similar track to
Marty's snake.
No, shut up. Going on a sort of similar track to yours, though. So due to there being more oxygen back in prehistoric times, stuff got a lot bigger back then. Shut up. Like giant insects. And I don't know if this is an actual thing. And if it is, please neither of you tell me about it. But I know giant 100 or at least 10-foot long centipedes were a thing that were pretty large. So I assume that there was some form of giant spider or arachnid, and do not tell me about it. I will leave.
I can't remember the name of it, but they got as big as a human head.
Oh,
That's
I hate
it. Not even including the legs.
Yep, I hate it.
Oh, man.
I hate
Looks
it.
like the head spider from The Thing.
Oh God, it is the head spider from the thing. So whatever that is.
Okay, so my favorite prehistoric creature is, right? Imagine an alligator went in to a dive bar and met a bear at the fucking counter. They had a couple of drinks, they fucked, and then a couple million years later, you ended up with Postosuchus. Imagine a love child between a bear and a fucking crocodile, and that's what you get with Postosuchus.
Don't be funny, Martin. That sounds like a really good premise for a sci-fi movie.
Just getting drunk.
Chest hair glistening.
But Mike, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes,
It was a scary fucking thing.
Yeah.
This was fucking as bad as two-legged kind of pteropods are. The idea of a quadruped carnivore like that fucking scares the shit out of me. I still don't know why they put a bunch of them in fucking 65. I don't know for the fucking life of me. Still pisses me off. Have you seen 65 yet, Mike?
No, I'm probably gonna have to wait until that comes out on DVD or something. I'm not sure yet.
I'm like it's a fucking grab bag, man. It's like we'll put this here. Just half these fucking animals don't belong in the time period. And before people say I'm nitpicking, right, I'm gonna give you a little fact. The T-Rex exists closer to the iPhone than he does the Stegosaurus. That I'm saying there is less of a span of time between the T-Rex and the iPhone than there is a Stegosaurus. All these fuckers didn't hang around together. There was a big fucking span of time. So don't be saying, well, it could have existed in that time period. No, it fucking couldn't.
Okay, Marty, and I haven't seen the movie, but countermeasure. What if Adam Driver crash landing somehow messed up the time stream and it's all wibbly wobbly time, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, and now all these creatures now for some reason exist at this one point in time.
It's the multiverse.
Also, fuck you, Moon. Fuck you, Moon. Spiders, giant spiders.
Okay,
so what if
that's all well and grand. But somehow they decided to turn an Oviraptor into Michael fucking Myers halfway through the fucking movie. And that cunt eats eggs. That prick eats eggs, and somehow they turn him into fucking shape from fucking Halloween. No, sorry, Mike. I know that's a spoiler, but it's fucking
to be honest with you, the moment I saw the trailers drop, I was just like, if this is either going to be Planet of Dinosaurs remake or someone's hashed up idea of, yes, let's do prehistoric life with spacemen now, and it just doesn't work. So yeah.
Marty, just a quick thing. I've meant to tell you about this. If you ever get the chance, check out a movie called Claw. It is literally about a woman who's a country singer and her friend who gets stranded in the middle of a desert, have to go to a junkyard, and just randomly there's a velociraptor there. It's never explained how it's alive or there. It's just there.
That sounds awesome. You can also go the route of Future War that has like, for some reason, there are like cyborgs and like dinosaurs that explode when you beat them up. It's like the dumbest movie I've ever seen, but oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm like, again, I liked the movie, but just some of those animals didn't fucking belong there, and some of them were like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't identify half the fuckers. The other fuckers were like, you shouldn't be here. It's like you went to Jerusalem and found a bunch of fucking Amish people. Sure, they'd fucking pass for fucking being there, but they don't belong there. Whoa, what the fuck? It makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry, my brain was melted. But
how did the iPhones get there?
Oh, that's what you took away. All right.
The same way the lighter got there in the land of the lost.
Yeah.
You're laying down.
Also, Marty, you shouldn't be calling them fuckers because they were egg layers.
They still have to fuck the lady eggs.
We're gonna be accurate here.
Mike, have you any questions or any trivia you want to drop or anything you want to ask or suggest?
No, I think I'm good. Unless there's something, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll throw something out there.
Well, like, again, it's like one issue I have with the later Jurassic World movies, and the thing I liked about the first Jurassic Park movies is the dinosaurs were scary, but they were never really portrayed as monsters. And I think that's what the latter movies kind of lost. It's like, these are animals. Animals are going to be fucking angry, dangerous. Fucking herbivores can be just as dangerous. Fucking cow would kill. So it's just I think the latter movies were like, well, you know, this is these guys are monsters. These ones are nice. Like, they kind of copped on. One thing I did like with Dominion was the Pteranodon, because that thing eats plants, but it's just skittish. It's just fucking skittish, and something that size that's skittish that has katanas for fucking fingernails is not something to fight on. Sean, is there any dinosaur movies you want to recommend or suggest, or anything that you think people left out?
No, and I think it's. I wish there were more that were like actually good, like Jurassic Park, and not something like cheesy Velocipaster or whatever.
You shut your goddamn mouth.
Now, see, you're going to get attacked by Christian and
make a serious like dinosaur movie, like Steven Spielberg or whatever.
Spielberg couldn't make Velocipaster.
No,
I know people bitch about it. I like Carnosaur. I like the novel way more. Have any of you read the Carnosaur novel?
No.
Okay, so right, this is an interesting thing. It's set in London. Okay, this scientist, head of a pharmaceutical company, his wife keeps on having lads coming over fucking her. So he decides to engineer dinosaurs to guard his manor. They escape and start murdering people. So because this guy couldn't keep his fucking wife faithful and not suck dick, he clones and makes a bunch of dinosaurs, and it ends up fucking getting out of hand. If you get a chance, read the novel. It's fucking hilarious.
That sounds like it should have been the one Roger Corman was involved in.
Absolutely.
It sounds to me like it's like that's the perfect go-to. So my wife's not being faithful to me, I'll just clone a fucking bunch of dinosaurs. It's like that's exactly what it would be.
As you do.
But
Women have sex with dinosaurs?
Let's not get into this.
No, this book does not feature Denise Frazier. No, it doesn't.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Hey Marty, I thought getting into the Jurassic World movies, there was one thing that was definitely a missed opportunity that they touched on a little bit, and that was one scene when you saw one of the dinosaurs, attack and kill a regular animal like a wolf or something. I'm like, wow, they could have really explored that, because if you think about it, these dinosaurs came back from billions of years ago. They would kill off all our animals, the regular animals, and all we'd have left is just dinosaurs,
That's the thing. That's another issue. Again, Dominion squanders its opportunity. In fact, not only does it squander its opportunity, it pisses in the face of its opportunity. There's a scene, right, in the extended edition where an orca and her baby are swimming next to a mosasaur, and I'm like, like a fucking biscuit. What the fuck?
Because I saw that, I said, why is she not eating a whale?
Yeah. It's like it's fucking totally like bollocks. Like it's fucking.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Mike, what would you have done for the last Jurassic World movie?
Well, I'll tell you what I would have done for the whole trilogy, actually. So you know how it starts with the first two films have the hybrids, and then the last film you have the Giga. In terms of overall appeal for the whole trilogy franchise, you've gone from really good antagonistic dinosaur, a step up from that antagonistic dinosaur, to then does fuck all and just dies with a knife wound to the neck. It's like you've built up this slope and then something just drops off at the very end. What I think they should have done was, rather than being the Indominus, it was the Giga that they had for the new park that just went awry. So although it's kind of similar to Jurassic Park in that sense, it's a different dinosaur they've never had to deal with before. It's bigger than the previous ones that they would have done before. So you still would have got that fun factor out of that. From that DNA, they then could have worked on with the Indoraptor, so genetically splicing the two together to come up with what they did. And then Biosyn getting hold of that DNA and just going array with it and creating the Indominus Rex. Had they finished the franchise with the Indominus Rex fighting the T-Rex, fighting the Therizina, fighting fucking every bloody dinosaur that's ever been in the franchise from start to finish, that probably would have ended better, and at least then it would have felt like the fight was worth its just. But what you saw in the film, what's it do? It kills I don't. Does the Giga even kill anything in Dominion?
No, it fucking doesn't. It doesn't.
No,
It headbutts the T-Rex, eats a deer that's already fucking dead, then gets pissed off at a burning bunch of fucking locusts. And fucking Trevorrow was like, "Oh, this is going to be the Joker of dinosaurs."
Yeah.
For fucking real.
Joker, literally the fucking card Joker, because no one fucking wants it.
With the long hands and shit. Like.
Yeah, exactly. It was a
Let me tell you how I got these scars.
It was a massively missed opportunity, and I honestly think that had they done it the other way around, so starting with something more placid for Jurassic World and then building up the anticipation, building up that risk factor up until Dominion, I think it would have gone down a lot better. It would play on the fact that because we're dealing with hybrids as well, any future parts of the franchise you've got going into it, you've got that aspect of what could we do with the hybrid aspects of cloning, whereas they've killed it off after the second film. So it's almost like, well, that was a thing now. We'll just thoroughbreed our dinosaurs, and even then they're not proper, because when I forget the actress's name claimed them to be thoroughbred, she brings out scaleless raptors. It's like, no, they should be feathered like the Pyroraptor that you've got on that fucking glacier in Italy. But no, apparently that's a thoroughbred. We can't have anything with feathers on it.
I was actually going to ask you and Marty, Mike, what were your thoughts on the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor from the World Series?
I like them.
I like them. They're a good idea for making something a monster without literally saying, "Oh, it's a T-Rex, therefore equals monster." I still would have preferred personally if they'd found something that hadn't been known to science, so they were literally dealing with something that was completely unknown, and they were so confident in what they've seen with other animals that they could have just predicted what this was going to be like and been far from it. But either way, I still like it for what it is. I appreciate both of them.
Yeah, because I had no problem with the first Jurassic World. I actually thought the idea that you can actually tame raptors was an interesting concept. And I thought Chris Pratt was okay. You know, nothing fancy like that. I thought he did okay. You know, it's just unfortunately they didn't follow it up with Fallen Kingdom, Fallen World, and Dominion. I mean, it's just like that's it. That's all you guys can do.
Don't you think it's a little? Don't you think his character gets a little silly after a while when all he has to do is put his hand out and he's like the Beast Master controlling the dinosaurs. That's all it's doing.
Right. So when he's in when he's in Malta, okay, he spent time with raptors. He knows these raptors, okay. Fucking one side, Carno comes out of one cage, Allosaurus comes out of another cage. And he's like, hey, I got this.
These things teeth can rip your face apart, and all you have to do is like stick your hand out.
Christian, if you haven't seen it, you're actually going to have fun when you see them people trying to hold their hand up like that, trying to control a raptor.
I've been told about that. I haven't watched them, but I know some of the ridiculous shit that they get through. Just not the incest cloning thing that.
Oh no! Don't say that word. New. Don't say that word. You know your mother's gonna go crazy if you say that word.
Incest? Yeah. Incest! Please! Today's secret word, children!
My favorite episode of TV.
You're not going on Sesame Street. You're not going on Sesame Street.
Why is his name Big?
If they ever do another movie and they put new hybrids in it, I think they need to go the way of Kenner. One in particular being the unused prototype that this guy.
The Ultimasaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking thing.
Oh my god!
Hell.
What the hell is that?
That's an abomination.
Is that balls?
Yes, that's like balls.
Why does it look like a turkey?
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was in the, what was it, 90? 2000. Chaos, that was it. Yeah, so it must have been like 2000s. Yeah, so they kind of, in their attempt to try and bring another line of Jurassic toys to the fandom, decided that they were going to go down the hybrid route, and a couple of the hybrids weren't too bad, but then that was like supposed to be the big bad, which was like a T-Rex / Triceratops / Ankylosaur / fucking 2 other bloody dinosaurs in there, and it's become a bit of a cult fan following in terms of, oh yeah, this is the thing that would easily overpower an Indominus Rex and all that stuff. But
I take it you're not a fan.
Physical performance.
Say again?
I take it you're not a fan of the design.
It's not so much I'm not a fan of the design. I'm very much up for kind of like mashing dinosaurs together and making something that works. I think for me the problem is that the skull aspect is great. It's the tailing down to the tip of the tail that I'm not a fan of. It just doesn't weigh right, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the balance, having the big club on the tail. Yeah.
I mean, even the raptor foot is like, it works to a point, but then once it gets past the knee, it just doesn't feel like it belongs on the same animal.
Yeah, because it's too fucking big. Raptor is a
That's
delicate
what she
animal.
said.
I was thinking it too. Thank you, Trip. But I was trying to be
Mother
like
of
an
fucking
adult.
Jesus.
There's 2 of them now.
No.
You have to choose your words
Yeah.
even more carefully now, Marty.
Marty, just imagine if they were on Knight's stream last week when they missed the nips.
Hell of a thing to have happen, I tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put one more question to you before I end the stream, and I'll start with Mike. Do you think, as you said, if they rebooted the franchise, do you think you could make an R-rated horror-themed Jurassic Park? Would it work?
Oh, absolutely, definitely.
What do you think the stipulations would have to be?
Well, I think in terms of what we already see in the novel and even the follow-up, the Crichton's Lost World novel as well, there's plenty of aspects in there that they could easily bring into, even if it's something like a HBO series or something. The amount of gore they could probably get away with would be a lot different to anything you would probably get in the cinema. However, what I would worry about is the budget for this sort of thing, because although they've thrown millions at shows like The Power of the Ring and what was the other one, Game of Thrones and what have you, it's still a bit of a balancing act in terms of fantasy will always appeal to countless audiences. Dinosaurs are a little bit more niche. Now, I'm not talking massive figures in terms of fan bases for either, but there's more people that like fantasy than there are that like dinosaurs and vice versa. So that would be my main concern with it. But I definitely think there would be a world out there that would appreciate an R-rated Jurassic Park.
Okay. Triv, would you watch an R-rated Jurassic Park, and what would you need to see if they had it?
It would have to be as far from Jurassic, the last 2 Jurassic worlds as possible. It's not that it's a back to basics thing, but it's one of those things where you need to take an honest to God look and say, okay, this is what Jurassic Park did. Let's expand upon that and make it cool. Like the fact that they basically use the same plot, like, oh, we're gonna take this dinosaur and we're gonna like change it up and read it so many times. It didn't really explore the world with that. Like if you could have taken Dominion and gone and put them into the real world and really shown the consequences of things like that, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, seeing like a dinosaur, say like a cop, that teams up with a cyborg.
Yeah.
Or
APPD.
Yes.
What if that they team up with Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, there you go. I like it. And it's got to like have like three shoes on basically, and it has to tie them up every day. And he likes cookies.
Yes.
It has to be a triceratops, so we can call him Triceratops.
That is pretty good, admittedly. I do love that.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Monty, would you watch an R-rated Jurassic Park movie, or do you think that's?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you can create it, just make it just a plain old horror movie, where unfortunately the bad guys are dinosaurs. You can do that. You can do that. Almost like a semi-slasher film, but the bad guys are dinosaurs. Or it could be just the fact that these are dinosaurs that just want to be left alone, and unfortunately somebody invades their land, and they're just doing what the instinct does to them. They're protecting their own. You can do it that way.
Cool. Sean, do you think an R-rated Jurassic movie would work, and what would you want to see in it?
Going off of what Monty just said, you could just bring back one dinosaur, and then it would really be like a slasher movie. Just dinosaur popping out, killing someone, taking them out one by one.
But like Aliens, put a dinosaur.
Yeah. Or like Alien, like Alien did, almost just one dinosaur.
Christian, do you think that franchise could work in an R-rated setting, or do you think it's too kind of kidified, or like what would you need to see in it to make it work?
I think it could totally work. You totally could, like Monty and Sean said, do a slasher kind of thing with like researchers trapped in a thing and a single raptor hunting them. Like that could kind of work.
Like the trapped in a cave,
or even like Trenchy's alluding to something survival horror. Like you already have a template there. The Dino Crisis games do something like that. My one criteria for it is don't fucking use Chris Pratt. No more Chris Pratt. I am tired of Chris Pratt. Can we please get rid of Chris Pratt? He was charming for one movie in 2014. He has never been likable since. Can we please get rid of Chris Pratt?
Don't tell me you did not. I guess you didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 then.
I have not seen Guardians 3. I do like the first Guardians. Guardians 2 solid, but I have not gotten around to Guardians 3 yet. I do not like Chris Pratt whatsoever.
I couldn't tell. You're really hiding it well.
I'll tell you one thing though about very Guardians 3. A kid gets seriously hurt, so it's fucking hilarious.
I love it. I love it. Again, it's my mentality with movies. Fuck them kids.
Yeah, exactly.
James Gunn is a man after my own heart.
That's going to be cut and used to the court.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it. I know.
Oh boy.
What about you?
What about me? I do. No, again, this is probably going in a little bit different, but I would actually like to see an R-rated movie, but I would really, and I'd like to go as dark and as bleak as possible to show man's inhumanity to man and use the dinosaurs as kind of the metaphor.
That
and
could
kind of something like what Monty was saying, that they just kind of want to be left the fuck alone, but because of greed and other shitheads, and just kind of show what people are. But yeah,
that totally could work.
And it probably no one else would be interested.
Yeah. Also, completely unrelated to the Jurassic Park franchise, but Marty, I'm sure you've thought of this before, but Predator movie set in prehistoric times. Give us a Predator hunting dinosaurs, or like caveman Neanderthal times. Give us one of those.
Flintstones.
Ooh, I like that.
A dark version of the Flintstones, where the big zoo just
Flintstones versus Predator. I'll be up for that.
Oh my god, Flintstones versus
like he went up against Archie, so nothing's off the fucking table. That's all
shit! Oh yeah.
The Brontosaur gets tired of Fred sliding down his back. Like, you know what? Hack him with his tail.
No, the Predator's sliding down it, but it's using its claw gauntlet as it's sliding down.
Why am I getting porno moves when you guys are talking about
it? Before I go, if anyone does want to check out a cool kind of horror-orientated, two horror-orientated dinosaur comics. First is Enionic Tales, which is essentially Cadillacs and dinosaurs. That's more pulp. But if you want to see a really fucked up, gory fucking dinosaur comic, 2000 AD released a series of books called Flesh. And it's basically the human race has run out of food, so people are sent back in time to murder dinosaurs and harvest the meat.
Ooh.
And suffice to say, shit doesn't go well. Mike, did you ever read Flesh back in the day?
No, I never even heard of that one. That's intriguing, that.
Oh,
Yeah, that
it's
is
fucking
intriguing.
awesome. It's pretty cool. As a result, the T-Rex ends up getting stuck in the fucking wasteland, and Judge Dredd has to hunt it down. It's fucking ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Hunt him down? I expect him to make it his pet.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It ends up being worshipped by a cult named Satanus and has like 666 branded on its face.
That is an amazing
Jesus.
name for a dinosaur.
Nice.
Or a pet in general. I am naming my next cat Satanus.
Okay.
With that, guys, I'm gonna finish it up here. But before I do, I'm gonna ask everyone what they're up to. So, my gorgeous girlfriend and her awesome son, guys, what is next on the charter for you guys?
Well, it's going to be a little bit. There was a family emergency, and we're kind of taking care of somebody in the family. So videos will happen when they happen, but it's been crazy.
We had more plans for the month and catch up and stuff, but it kind of shot in the foot. So hopefully we'd like to do a couple videos for Pride Month and stuff, as we always do, maybe a stream, and catch up reviews and stuff here and there. But for the most part, going to be pretty quiet. I am, if you're looking for some recommendations for Pride Month, I am giving out a different recommendation every day on our community tab for a different queer horror movie to check out. So there's that at least, but yeah, we're pretty.
I'm surprised you guys did not like Renfield. Oh, they froze too.
They're so shocked they froze. They're like, Jesus, they're frozen today. Sean, what have you got in the pipeline?
I've got the Morbid Hour stream coming next week. We're going to be talking all about our favorite underrated horror films.
Nice.
Cool. Monty, what about yourself?
I have 2 videos that are up right now. I reviewed the Black Demon and Influencer. Influencer was recommended by Emma from Spooky Astronauts and Lee McCoy from Drum Dums. I heard some good things about it, and I watched it. It was actually pretty good. Was very impressed by Influencer. The Black Demon, but yeah, they're up on my channel right now.
Cool beans. Triv, what about yourself?
I put up a movie called Bloodhook. Basically, it's a guy that goes hunting or fishing for muskies, starts killing people with a really, really big lure, and then which is super awesome movie. Also, hopefully at the end of this week, we'll have a collab on Future War, which is cyborgs and ninjas, cyborgs and dinosaurs come from the future to hunt down things, and everybody explodes. There's also lots of plaid.
Is that your Jurassic
Awesome.
June movie?
It's not. It didn't mean for it to be that way, but it's how it turned out. So.
Sweet. So a nice coincidence. Happy accident.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jen and Christian, I was about to say, you guys did not like Renfield. I'm shocked.
No,
I was very, very disappointed by Renfield.
it wasn't so much that I didn't like it. I was mad because there was flashes of really good potential with it, and then it just shot itself in the foot. Like, I think I'm more mad. I wish it would have been worse because like there was some really good stuff, and no one is shouting out Ben Schwartz. I will give it, like, Nicolas Cage and Holt are great too, but Ben Schwartz was really good in that.
He was.
But there was a lot of problems.
Quite a few.
Cool beans. Mike, have you any projects or podcasts or anything you want to plug or tell people to check out?
Nothing my end, sadly. I will be attending the Ray Harryhausen Awards in Edinburgh at the end of this month.
Very cool.
So if anyone's going to be attending, or if anyone's going to Edinburgh around the 29th of June, then by all means go down and get a ticket. And you get to watch Jason and the Argonauts in 4K as well after the awards
Nice.
ceremony itself. So that's always a
Lucky.
bonus.
Oh man.
Classic.
But they're also doing the award ceremony is basically an accumulation of everything stop motion based. So if you have a short film or a feature film or anything that's stop motion based, send it in for next year's award ceremony, because what I'm hoping is going to happen is that there may be an additional sponsorship from a particular company that may be able to go up there and present the award in person. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. But for me personally, it's just hard work as usual. Animation toolkit, making people's armatures. We've got a few things in the pipeline that I can't disclose at the moment, so that's all a bit hush hush. Just done an order for Peter Jackson. Can't tell you what it was, but just done an order for Peter Jackson. And that's about it, really.
Oh, good.
Nice one. Nice.
I always act as a Ray Harryhausen fan. So Mike, what is your favorite Ray Harryhausen film?
Ooh,
Good question.
You don't ask the apprentice of Ray Harryhausen what his favourite film was. It's all of them, of course.
Don't Sophie choice him.
It's a tricky one, actually, because it depends on my mood at the time, but it's also like every different film has a different emotion attached to it. So, like, The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and what was the other one?
Golden Voyage of Sinbad.
The Golden Voyage.
They're the ones that I used to watch a lot as a kid, but then as I got into my high school age, it was things like 1 Million Years BC, Valley of Guanju, things like that. So every film's like, they're always my favourite, and I didn't even associate all of them were done by the same guy until I turned 21. So at the time, it was like, oh, I like all of these films for whatever reason, but now it's like, oh, they're all under one guy's umbrella. Oh, shit. That's not for me.
Yeah, no, because I always have the same answer when somebody asks me that question. I said, but they're all great. That was fantastic.
Yeah, there's some that are better than others in the sense of the story might be a bit slow, or there's not that much in the way of effects and everything to make you invested in the story. But yeah, overall, it's like there's nothing like a Harryhausen movie that is just like so on the nail with getting so much right with so little money that in today's world, it's like 50 to 60,000 people working on a single film can't even get right.
We're still looking back on it and like, wow, this stuff was great.
I know, because some people ask me, do you like Clash of the Titans or you like the remake? I said, I like the original. I mean, you can't get enough of that bird. You can't get enough of that bird.
Yeah. And
not that I have nothing wrong against the remake. The remake has some great qualities in it. Obviously, some of the practical effects are pretty good. I actually like the scorpions scenes. They're all pretty good, but unfortunately, the monster was terrible. The
Kraken.
The Kraken was terrible. Was terrible.
Yeah.
And Medusa was terrible.
The thing that I didn't like with the remake was not only just the fact that you got a bunch of events happening that had no reason to happen, like the Scorpions' appearance. Why did they appear? Were they guarding something? Because it was never established they were guarding something. At least in the original, they came about because they were spawned from the blood of Medusa. So there's like, there's a reason that these things exist. They don't just pop out of the sand for shits and giggles. But also, for a film that's like, oh yeah, we want to base it on Clash of the Titans because that's a really popular movie, and then insulting the guy that practically forged the bloody script for it originally by telling fucking what's his name to put Bubo back because it's an embarrassment and no one wants to fucking care about it. It's like, Jesus, guys, just slap the bloody Grandmaster in the face for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And then they did it even worse in the bloody sequel, where it's crazy old man talking to bloody Bubo. It's like, oh no, what was he doing? Fucking what? It's like, how is this a positive thing, guys? It's like, fuck off.
I never liked that
Justice for
poor
Bubo.
Gowl, but it deserved better than that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm gonna finish it off here because it's burning day. Well, I was gonna say it's burning daylight. There's fucking no daylight now. But with that, I'm gonna end it here. But before I go, I want to thank Soulless Trenchcoat Trenchy, American Werewolf in New Jersey. Brittany was here. Ben Grimm was here. Full Moon was here. Who else was here? Eric was here.
Mr. Dan.
Yeah. And who else was TYTD Reviews, Echo Kiro. Yeah, thanks a million for everyone who tuned in. Be sure to check out Mike's channel and Mike's stuff. The dude is a fucking absolute artist and a legend. I'm not fucking no. He is. Make sure to check out the stuff.
Awesome
And,
guess.
Yeah. With that, guys, I'm going to end it here. So have a good night, guys, and take care. Bye now.
So,
Nice.
guys.
Bye.
Fuck
Have a great
them
night.
kids.
You have to get one more, didn't you?
Finds a way.
Have you ever
Let me get
seen
mine in.
the video of a
Probably
kid
already
playing? He dresses up to Predator and his dad says to him, "Okay, son, so what are you going to call yourself?" And the kid shouts, "I am the child predator." He's like, yeah, we can't use that.
Oh no.